Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today and we have a new fragrance from BTSO, Born to Stand Out, baby. So we are now getting down to, I know this is a long series. I think this is even longer than Zoologist. I think this is the only long series that I really have in mind. So then we'll be able to do a whole bunch of different things, but that's 2026. So there you go. So a lot of these are that are left over except for this one. So we're going to have to transfer these because I just don't like dabbing them on. I'm not really a fan of that. It's from Lucky Scent, and it looks like they finally joined the rest of us. And they started putting them in these. Thank you. Nobody wants those dabbers. Nobody. So there you go. So the one that I'm going to be looking at today is Dirty Milk. I've heard of some of these. I don't remember this one. I don't know. The whole dirty thing, I mean, I'm fine with it, but it's dirty everything. So it's like, now there's milk. Well, this one came out in 2025. So the scoop, White Gone Wild, Milk on the Edge. Yeah, let it sit out in the sun in Arizona for like a week and you'll really be living on the edge. Inspired by the thrill of contrast, the soft milk right before it turns wild. Again, Arizona, and that's not a good smell when you have it out in the sun. I think we did that once as a kid, and no, I was not raised in Arizona, but I was originally from California, and we did that, and we got in big trouble. Dirty Milk starts with a splash of creamy milk and gooey caramel cut through by a flash of black pepper, sharp, hot, and just enough to make it dangerous. It's the spark, the heat before the dirtiness. Then it softens, buttery, iris blends to warm, akigala wood, like skin meeting skin. The dry down is slow and thick, with vanilla musk sinking into the body like the cream left on warm skin. Oh no. Born to Stand Out. There you go, baby. So the fragrance notes are milk, caramel, black pepper, condensed milk, cashmere iris, akigala wood, vanilla, musk, tonka bean. Never get tired of those descriptions. I think I'll miss you most of all. There you go. Okay, so immediately I get a sweetness to it for sure. A beautiful sweetness. So I know this is going to be a gourmand, but it's very light. All right, so we're going to do 2 here, 2 on the clothing, and on this little bad boy here. So here we go. Woo! 1, 2. Ooh, that is a bad. Did you see that spray? Oh, that is not good. Okay, that's okay though. And then 1, oops, went the wrong way. 1. This sprayer is not great. That's okay though. We're here for the scent. Ooh, it's on my hand. Ooh, that one is. Oh wow. I'm just gonna say this immediately. I wanted to rip on it just because of the description, but we're keeping it focused. This is beautiful. Like, this one's really beautiful, and I didn't expect to like this. Okay, strike that. I love gourmands. This one's beautiful. Now, I've been fooled before by this brand where I really liked something. I think it was Indecent Cherry, and then it went a completely different direction in the end, so it was a bait and switch. I hope that doesn't happen with this, but what I'm getting is this beautiful milkiness. It's true. It's straight up, I'm going to put that down, a straight up milkiness to it that just takes over everything. So it's almost like a milky caramel. So it's milk, like milk, and a beautiful caramel with it, with the slight pepperiness. Wow, that's kind of cool. And the thing is, when I first sprayed it, it was just like pepper. And it's not like a light pink pepper. This is actually like a black pepper, which I tend to find to be a little bit more bold and to the point. Well, pink pepper is a little bit more, it definitely is a pepper, but I find it to be a little bit more docile than black pepper, which is very, boom, sharp. Pink pepper is a little bit like pepper, and black pepper, boom, it's to the point. And that's what's happening here. This kind of reminds me just a little bit of Montagne. I think that's the name. It is a dupe house. I know not everybody likes that. I'm not against it because I bought a lot of dupes and then I end up getting the original. So, you know, I'm I'm not against it, but it does remind me of the one that they have, Melanie Martinez, the one that everybody wanted. They just released it. Strawberry milk, Montagne strawberry milk. That's what it is. So, which is based off of Melanie Martinez's Crybaby, which was re-released. It's very similar. It's not very similar. It has the same sort of structure like that. Now, I have not smelled that original, but I have smelled strawberry milk, and it has that milkiness to it. It has that lactate scent. And I never thought I would say I love those, because if you had told me like 5 years ago that that's a note that I would like, I'd be going, I love them. I don't know what it is. There's something very, and I don't even like milk. I like ice cream and things, but I don't usually use a lot of milk. I tend to use soy or almond and things. I don't know what it is. I just am not a huge fan. It's kind of that milkiness, which I really love. So it's that sweet caramel. It's that sweet milkiness. It's that pepperiness. And it's just so beautiful. But let's try it here on the wrist. Ooh, that pepper comes through on me, at least on me. So it's that milkiness, that caramel, and that pepper is like really like, it's really laying thick. The other ones are kind of like, they're getting smashed by this. But it's not bad. It's really good. But let's try it on the clothing. Okay, it's the same thing. It's that milkiness. It's that caramel milkiness with that sharp pepper. Very interesting. And here, it's that beautiful, silky, milky caramel with pepper. So it's not, a lot of the other notes aren't coming through yet. And that's okay. I think that basically in itself, right now, it's very simple gourmand, a very milky, caramel, peppery gourmand. But there's something about it that's very addictive. There's something about this, though it's very simple in its structure, it's very beautiful. And what I like about it is, for people who don't like gourmands, I love gourmands, but what I like about this is it isn't too overwhelming. It's not too yikes. Like, that is a gourmand. Yes, it's sweet. Yes, it has the caramel aspect to it. It's sugary, but the milk and the pepper kind of take that sugariness and go, nope, and make it a little bit more subdued. It is a gourmand. I'm not going to lie. It is still a gourmand, but I like that. It's like, here, sweet, sweet, sweet. And the pepper and milk go, nope, let's keep you a little bit docile, to where, you know, if you don't like gourmands, maybe you would give this one a shot. But again, it depends on how it plays. Hi, baby. On your chemistry and things like that. But this one's very interesting. When I saw Dirty Milk, I was like, no, but this one's really good. It's so good. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back in an hour. We're going to see where this one goes, because like I said, with Indecent Cherry before, it went in a direction that it was just okay. So I'm hoping this one, even if it doesn't morph a lot, stays in this pocket, because if it stays like it is now, I am going to be really, really happy with it. Aren't I? We're both going to be happy with it, aren't we? Okay, it has been an hour, and this one is beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love this one. So it's very gourmand. It's a little bit sweeter now that the pepper has taken a back seat. And so it's this beautiful condensed, and it is condensed milk. Originally it was milky, but now it's gone to a condensed milk. And if you've ever, and I don't know, if you've ever had like a Thai coffee where they put the condensed milk in it, that's what it smells like without the coffee. It's the beautiful condensed milk, which I use myself for baking, especially for fudge at Christmas and things. It's that beautiful condensed smell with the vanilla. Yay. So it's that beautiful condensed milk with vanilla, and you get that tonka. And you know, if you watch my channel, it's that trio, though there's no sandalwood. It's that tonka and vanilla just get me every time. And it's in here, and I can smell it. And you have that condensed milk. And it's just beautiful with the caramel. This is beautiful. This isn't just like your gourmand. I mean, it is a gourmand. It's almost like a richer gourmand, which I am just loving. But let's try here on the wrist. Oh, so It's that beautiful caramel, vanilla, and tonka, but the cashmere is coming through. I love it. I love that. And a little bit of, just a slight bit of woodsiness to it. And the pepper has taken way back seat. But it's just, it seems very simple, but there is sort of a complexity to it that you don't expect. And that's what I'm loving about this one. But let's try it on the shirt. It's the same, though the peppery isn't really coming through at all. But it is that vanilla, tonka, caramel, and that condensed milk. It's really light on here. It's actually working better on the skin and the clothing. It's the same. There's almost like a little bit of lemon though to it here. I know it's not listed on the notes, but there's almost like a little bit of a citrusy kick to it. So it's exactly the same as everywhere else, but it almost has like a brightness to it somewhere. I'm not getting the iris though. I think they mentioned it has iris in it. I never got the iris. And that's okay. That's okay. But this one's good. This one doesn't really change too much from where it starts, except for me, the pepper's gone back and the cashmere has come forward. But it pretty much is still in the same vein. It's just those two notes have kind of, it's good. This one's good. It's not as heavy as some of the other Born to Stand Out scents. This one's a little bit lighter. But ooh, this one's good. This one's good. I really like this. But I'm a gourmand girl. Okay, so, but it's not too much, and that's what I'm loving about it. It's just like a mature, like, gourmand. You have your younger gourmands, which are yay, and then ones that are a little bit more, I'm an adult now. And they're both good. I have both, and I wear them all regularly. But this one, I love. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check back in 4 hours to see where this beauty is gone, and hopefully it stays on this path. Because I'm liking this path. We're getting along quite well, but we'll see. A lot can change in 4 hours. So we're at the 5 hour mark, and I can still definitely smell this one. But this one is very much a lighter fragrance from Born to Stand Out, which isn't a bad thing. You don't always need to have a powerhouse. But this is one of those ones that you could definitely still smell 5 hours later. It's right here in this little pocket, just right around you and personal. But if you wanted to make it a little bit stronger, of course you could put on like 6 sprays. If you're really feeling spicy, maybe 8, but you know, good luck. But 6 would do ya. Or you can just carry it with you and give yourself a little bit of an upkeep, you know, around 4 or 5 hour mark, and freshen it up a bit, which I do tend to do. I tend to carry a bag and I keep my perfumes in there. And I know. And people are like, that's a lot to carry. I'm like, no, it's not. It's okay. I'm used to it. I got a strong back thanks to all the bags I carry. So there you go. But this one may need a little bit of help if you like a bolder fragrance. But this is just a really glorious gourmand. It really is. I've really enjoyed this one actually quite a bit. But let's try it here on the wrist. This one's lovely. So it's changed a little bit on my chemistry. It's bringing out that vanilla and tonka and a little bit of musk. Like I've said in other videos, I really like Born to Stand Out because their musks, for the most part, really work on me. And I've also done a whole series on Zoologist where their musks don't work so well on me. So it's interesting to see how different brands deal with those animal scents, you know, the muskiness. I have a harder time with Zoologist. So if you were like me and musk likes you, or those animal notes like you, Born to Stand Out keeps them a little bit tamer. I find that they work better on me and they don't come forward as much. But I can definitely smell it here. I can definitely smell it, but it's underneath. It's not really something that you would see as a really bold note, and I really like that. But I am getting a little bit of that floral. I wouldn't be able to tell what floral it is because the vanilla and the tonka have taken over. And the condensed milk is sort of there, but before it was a very milky fragrance. It's more of vanilla and tonka with a little bit of caramel, and the milky aspect has kind of dissipated a bit, which works. And then you get a little bit of that muskiness. I'm getting a tad bit of that floral, just a tad bit. I just don't know what it is. I couldn't go, oh, that's iris, because it's kind of almost like an afterthought, but it's quite beautiful. But let's try it here on the shirt. So on the shirt, it's a little bit milkier than it is on my chemistry, and I'm not really getting that musk. So you get a little bit of that, more of that milkiness, but it's still pretty much the same component that it is on the wrist. So this one isn't, this is where I keep all the goodies. So this isn't really one that has huge complexity, but it's still not simple. And that's what I like about it, is for a gourmand, there's still a complexity, but it's not really, but it really doesn't have a lot of complexity to it. It's like right in between. So where it's not boring and too gourmand, but it's not trying to be, I don't know, something really complicated that you're like, it's too much, if that makes sense. But let's try it here. That's beautiful. And she's all in the corner purring by herself. Aw. That's really beautiful. Here it's more condensed milk. It's more condensed milk and tonka and vanilla, and I am getting a little bit of that iris. Here I can identify it more than on my chemistry, and I don't really get it much on the shirt. So there's that, it's that condensed milk and that caramel, vanilla tonka with just a tad bit of like iris just going whoop, like a sheep over the fence. That makes sense? Dream time. Gosh, that's good. Gosh, that's good. It is, oof. And a little bit more peppery on that. I do get a little bit, it tingles my nose a bit. Not so much on the chemistry or on the shirt. The pepper's kind of worn off, but it is on there. Ooh, this is good. This is good, my friend. So let's talk about it. I love this one. So far, I think this is one of the best in the series. I really do, of trying all these. This is the one I was like, dirty milk. I don't want that. It's one of those things that part of it is the name. If somebody smelled this on me and they go, oh, you smell so good. What are you wearing? I don't know if I want to basically say dirty milk. You know, and I think sometimes with the branding of Born to Stand Out, that kind of throws me off sometimes, just because the names aren't always appealing. Maybe it's a little bit different in Korean, but it still says dirty milk. Uyu. I don't know dirty though. Uyu. It's milk. I know. Still learning. But even still, it's dirty milk. I guess from my standpoint, it's just not something that I, you know, like if I'm wearing, one of my most complimented perfumes is Hummingbird by Zoologist, and somebody asks me what I'm wearing, I go, Hummingbird, dirty milk. So that kind of gets me a little bit, but it wouldn't stop me from wearing it. I just might go, oh, I don't remember. I wouldn't do that. I never gatekeep. But that's what's kind of like with me. So the name really kind of got in the way at first of me going, But then I tried it, and it's absolutely amazing. This is a great gourmand, and I feel that Born to Stand Out in a lot of ways is very much a gourmand brand. A lot of the scents always end up with the gourmand feel to them. Even if there's other notes, there's always going to be vanilla or something to bring it back to gourmand. And I think that's what this company is really focusing on, which I love. I love gourmands. Sometimes it doesn't work with them. Sometimes it does. This one's a big hit. So this one's really good. Really good. Now, if I were going to give it a season, best time to wear it, I would say right now is great. I would say fall, winter, even early spring. It would do better in cool weather. In summer, it might be a little bit difficult with the humidity bringing the gourmands out. Gourmands are a little bit more difficult in summer, but what I will say about this one is because you have other notes bringing it down, it never gets too sweet. And some of them can be just like, oh, it's too cloying and I need to step away. I never get that with this. Never, because that pepper and that cashmerean and those notes kind of bring it down, and even the iris kind of cut through it a little bit in a gentle way, unlike a citrus, which a lot of people will use to cut through that sweetness. It's done in a different way, and I think it works exceptionally well. So This you could probably wear in summer if you weren't in a humid area. I would wear it in summer. It gets really humid where I live. And you know what? I'd still do it. I know. And people are going to go, no. But that's okay. I would, because this is that good. Now, if I were going to say if we were going to talk about gender of a perfume, which you wear what you want when you want, we always do. But if somebody wanted to see a classification, I would say that this one does lean a little bit more feminine. Those gourmands in a lot of people's eyes tend to do that. It's like, it's a gourmand, feminine. But I don't always agree with that, especially with the other components to make it a little bit, there's a woodiness to midway through that comes through, so it makes it a little bit more wearable for everyone. But yes, if we were going to classify it, I would say it does lean a little bit more feminine. But boy, it's good. Anyone should wear it. It's so fantastic. Now, if I were going to give this one a rating, I actually have a video that's coming up where I talk about perfumes. I'm planning on doing this that should have been 10s, because I tend to never give 10s very often. And the reason is because it's like there's always room for improvement. But there's some that I put lower that I'm like, why did you do that? So this one, for me, out of this collection, is definitely in the higher quarter. If you had the 4 quarters, this would be in the top. Okay? I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10. I really am, because I am a gourmand freak. I love vanilla. I love tonka. But what I love about this is the beauty of that cashmeran with a little bit of that iris and that pepper coming through. And in the beginning, that condensed milk is so good. And I didn't think I would say that about a milky product. This is very milky, even still with that caramel. Even though the milkiness smell, that note isn't coming through as much, there's this creamy milkiness to it, which I think is just absolutely beautiful. I love this. I don't want to come back in another year and say, this one should have been a 10. It's already there. Because that makes me eat my words a little bit. But I do tend to be a little bit less generous. So there you go. So yes, that is my review of Borntostandout Dirty Milk. And with that, have a fabulous day, my friend. Unless you are here for the Korean movie. So yes, I moved into a movie. I think I'm putting 2 movies into this list. Now, the reason is I don't watch a lot of movies as much as I used to in general. I tend to like the Korean dramas and series a little bit more. But I really liked this movie, and there's a reason why. And if you've seen a couple of my videos, you will know that I love the zombie genre very much. Would love to go to Busan. Didn't get to do that last time and go to Jeju. But so there's a train heading that way, and the main character and his daughter decide to take a trip because it is, I think it was her birthday. It's been a while since I've seen it, but you know, he hasn't necessarily been the best dad. You know, it's very common where a lot of dads will work really long hours, and it's like, hey, you know, I'm supporting the family, but you know, money's not everything. So it's a hard balance. So basically he decides to spend time with his daughter, and they're all on this train, and I think it's a woman who enters who has been infected. And she starts chowing down on people, and she's a zombie, and it all goes to boop, yeah, really quickly. So the difference with these zombies is that they do move faster, but they don't do well with light. Like, they're almost blind. So they go off sense of sound more than visual. So if you stand still and things, they'll kind of go past you, hopefully. But then when you have tons of them on a small space, like a train. I mean, I've been on trains with people who were erratic. And it's just, it's like, I think about that with this movie, and I'm like, that's only one person. And there's like 60 of us on this. So, you know, and it's unnerving. So you can imagine that kind of feel when you're like in such a confined space like a train. There's really not a lot of places to hide. I always think about that. I'm like, I would go up on the luggage racks because I'm small, but then you can't really get down. So it's kind of dumb. So I don't know. I'm starved to death with zombies going, eh. It's tough. It's a train. But that's what makes it interesting, is you think how do you make this interesting? Well, interesting zombies moving quickly with the whole kind of blind aspect. Also really cool characters that they introduce across the board, like a homeless person, a younger, I think he was in baseball. I think he was into baseball and he's a younger man. And then there's the big guy, like the muscular dude, who I think was my favorite watching it. I really enjoyed him. And basically, it's how the passengers work together or don't work together so well. And you have the selfish passengers who are only looking out for themselves, and then the people who are looking out for others. So it's kind of, I see this with a lot of Korean movies. It's kind of a nod to society. And that's kind of what this is, in the way that people behave in social structures and what's expected and things. And it's kind of interesting to see what happens and what the lead is willing to do to keep his daughter safe, but also keep others safe, and what certain passengers are willing to do to keep other passengers safe and will sacrifice themselves for the greater good, versus those who think the greater good is always themselves and nobody else. So it's very interesting and really enjoyable, fast-paced once it goes, and it's kind of like, so get out that popcorn. You're gonna enjoy this one. So yes, Train to Busan, really fun watch. And instead of watching, an 8 to 20 episode drama, you can watch it in a couple hours and be done. There you go. So with that, have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye.